Hi everybody, welcome back to Your Skin's Gym, the place where you leave feeling good in your skin by working out the inside to feel better on the outside, not the other way around. I'm your host, Rio-Madison, and I'm so excited for today's episode. This topic means maybe the most to me, but before we get started, I just want to say I'm not a doctor. I am a certified holistic health coach, but the things that we discuss here are just based off of life experiences and what's helped me navigate them so far. So please take what you need and leave the rest, and it's okay if it doesn't resonate with you this time around. Happy 1-year anniversary to Your Skin's Gym. It's crazy that it's been a year already, and I honestly feel very proud because I've started things in the past and nothing has been like this. Nothing has felt like this, and I just have a really deep desire to keep going and stay consistent with this podcast. It means a lot to me, this space. Every single person who has listened this past year, whether it's been to one episode or every episode, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, it means so much to me and I appreciate you, and it matters that you're here. It makes a big difference for me and gives me the juice to keep going. So I really appreciate everyone that's been a part of the journey of launching Your Skin's Gym, because really this first year has been figuring things out, growing and trial and error, and having really cool conversations with guests, and also exploring what my style is with talking about solo topics, solo episodes. So I mean, the growing never stops, but reflecting on this past year, it's been really exciting to just keep creating and to continue feeling motivated in putting out new episodes every other Wednesday. With that being said, I was thinking about the 1-year anniversary of Your Skin's Gym and what I wanted to do about that. I of course wanted to do something somewhat special other than just say, happy birthday to Your Skin's Gym, but also make this launch into year 2 or season 2 significant and give you an idea of what it's going to look like going forward. Because like I said, that first year has been a lot of navigating, figuring out, and just learning as I go. But now I feel like I have a good footing. I have 26 episodes under my belt, so I feel more ready to go into this next season, and I feel that I have a very clear vision of what I want this to be like, and I am just so excited. So I realized, though, that even though there's been a plethora of episodes surrounding mental health and holistic health and wellness and things in between, I realized that I have never really given a description of what Your Skin's Gym is, what those words together even means, what it means to me, and also more about who I am as your host of Your Skin's Gym. I feel like Your Skin's Gym has its whole own personality, but really it is very much me at the same time, and that's something I want to share more about also, is just who I am, because I think that having a platform where I'm talking about mental health and wellness, holistic health and wellness, I think it's only fair that if I'm trying to create these vulnerable, open conversations, that I'm open and vulnerable about what I'm going through and what I've been through and where I'm at, and just showing up as your host. So today I want to share with you what Your Skin's Gym is and how it came to be. I have actually had the name Your Skin's Gym planned and picked out since I'm 14 years old, and I'm going to explain to you how that even started and how I got here to starting a podcast with that title. I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. That's what my boyfriend Otto always says, and it's so true. So I guess let's just get right into the story. So when I was 14, I was at a volleyball fundraiser for my high school volleyball team, and we had a car wash. And we needed to attract cars to the car wash. We needed to gain attention, and we needed to persuade the cars driving by quickly to see our signs, see what we were up to, and get them to come on in and support us with raising some money. So aside from signs and waving our little hands around on the sidewalk, some friends and I decided to go into the CVS right next door, and we bought Halloween masks. So we put the Halloween masks on and walked out to the sidewalk, and we were just dancing around in these masks. I mean, I wasn't thinking anything of it. And we were just having a good time and using these Halloween masks as a way to get attention. When the day was done and I took the mask off, I got picked up by a friend's mom and she brought me home. I took a shower pretty much right when I got home. And in the shower, I remember just standing under the water and I could not stop itching my eyes. As much as I rubbed them, as much as I rinsed them, it just got itchier and itchier. At this point, my mom had gone out to dinner, so I was home with my younger sister and a neighbor who was hanging out with us. And I remember calling my mom and I just said, "Mom, my eyes are super itchy and they're kind of red, a little bit swollen, and I'm not sure what to do." So she said, take a Benadryl. I don't know if she said take 2. I don't actually remember that specifically. It's possible. But I took a Benadryl and I assumed that it would just go away and get better. The next morning, I woke up and it was 10 times worse. My entire face at this point, it was just starting to look even more puffy and red, and this rash was very much forming. So I remember going to a walk-in medical, and they gave me a big old steroid shot right in my lower back, and that hurt so bad. But I went back home that night. They had told me, "You'll be good in 24 hours." So I was very excited about that. But unfortunately, the next day, it was 20 times worse. And at this point, it had started to just spread all over my body, in between my fingers, in between my toes. It really was taking over. It was becoming a very severe reaction. So we went to the emergency room and I ended up being admitted into the hospital for a while. I was on intravenous steroids. And at this point in my life, I had never had an allergic reaction to this degree. I had an allergic reaction when I was a young baby to raw meat. I touched raw meat and got a reaction on my face. It was somewhat similar, but didn't spread as much. It was nothing to this extreme. So up to this point, because I hadn't had a reaction like this, it was very unclear what caused it. And the doctors were unclear too. So I was on these steroids and it took a few days for them to even start remotely helping. But thank God, eventually they did, and it was starting to go down and settle. And I eventually, left the hospital. I had lost like a layer of my skin, so I became very sensitive to just getting hot, and doing too much or even very little movement was too much. So I had to stop sports. I was playing volleyball, basketball, lacrosse. I was a dancer, but I did continue dancing. That's the only thing that I did keep doing. But the other sports were more difficult for me to continue. And I started changing in a lot of other ways too. I mean, the steroids were causing anxiety, depression. My family was going through a separation at the time. So a lot of other things were going on. And this is where we get to the point where I was feeling so crap just about everything that it started off with my skin. It was also a lot of internal things going on. I was also battling with the fact that I looked like a different person. So being in my own skin became very uncomfortable for me, and I was having a lot of body issues. So this is the beginning to the recipe that brought me to believing in healing from the inside out. And this is why I'm sitting here right now. So as the story continues, I remember being on all these different medications, and as I said, just feeling so crap, and just thinking to myself that one thing I'm taking is causing another issue, which is causing another issue, and I feel bad anyway. So why am I even taking these things? I started to have this intuitive feeling that I just want to do this on my own. I believe my body can do this. And I was thinking about the way I was treating my body before my reaction, the things that I was eating, the things that I was doing. And at this point, we didn't know what I was allergic to, but we did know it was some kind of chemical. And it was something artificial, some kind of chemical. So I started to have these ideas that I would just cut out anything that had a chemical. I was also terrified to have anything like this happen to me again. So I just began to cut out anything artificial, anything that had chemicals involved. And I thought to myself, if the inside of me is clean and cleansed, I feel I'll be less likely to have a reaction. And I still can't quite explain that. Maybe someday somebody will come onto the podcast who has exactly the right words to help me out with that. But for now, all I can say is that it was my gut feeling to wash out and just start fresh. So time went on, and honestly, so much continued to happen. I developed chronic migraines. I developed eating disorders. I was going through a lot mental health wise. But I think all of those individual stories can be for another time. But for now, in explaining how I came to YourSkinsGym, from the moment I started to have these inklings that my body could do it myself, that I wanted to focus on healing from the inside and healing naturally and taking this cleansing approach, I thought about my skin a lot. I mean, my reaction had just happened to my skin, and I was very conscious about what was going on it and also in my body. And I kind of just thought of the name at that point. And even though I think that those other things that happened between can be their own stories for another time, I do want to spend a little bit of time with the eating disorder aspect, because that's what, at the end of the day, creates the gym aspect of YourSkinsGym. So if you've listened to some past episodes, you might know that I've battled with eating disorders in my life, and a big part of that journey for me has been figuring out a healthy relationship with the gym, with exercise, with movement. And that's something that I have dealt with my whole life. I grew up with a mom who exercised a lot, and I was just exposed to videotapes from probably birth and exercise tapes and exercise classes. And I was exposed to what it feels like for a woman to look in the mirror and look at her body and maybe pick at it and judge it and say not so nice things to it. And I just remember from a young age looking at mine in a certain way. So Developing and battling with eating disorders came from deep within. So even though my relationship with the gym and exercise has ebbed and flowed and been healthier and has had its moments of being not very healthy, the gym and movement and exercise has always stayed true to me in the way that it makes me feel better. Every time I move my body, my mind feels clearer. I feel more able. I feel a fresh start. And I do believe that it's very important for humans to move and exercise. And I mean, it's healthy. So I value being able to move my body, and I'm very grateful to be able to do so. So I have intentionally chose to keep the word gym in the name. And I think that being somebody who has battled with eating disorders, it is even more intentional to keep the name there because of the complicated relationship that having an eating disorder can bring on with the gym. Tying this all together, from my allergic reaction at 14, launching me into this idea about skin, this idea about healing from the inside out, to navigating eating disorders throughout my life, to navigating a healthy relationship with my body, with looking in the mirror, with movement, with my reason for exercise, to now we have this name, YourSkinsGym. And altogether, YourSkinsGym to me is a place to do the inner workout. When I think about the unhealthy times in my life of going to the gym, it was unhealthy because it wasn't based off of feeling good inside. It was based off of being worthy from what I saw in the mirror and basing how good my workout was, how good I was at the workout, how effective it was on what I was seeing in the mirror. And to me now, the definition of gym in YourSkinsGym is to feel good with the inner workout because it feels good on the inside, to feel worthy all the time, no matter what. I say at the beginning of every episode, YourSkinsGym is the place to work out the inside, to feel better on the outside, not the other way around. And I truly want YourSkinsGym to speak to people in a way where maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe you're having a hard time mentally. I want YourSkinsGym to be the place that you can go to say, this is the episode that I need to listen to right now to help me work this out. In that same sense, I want this to be a community. I want whoever listens to these episodes to know that maybe other people are listening to the same episode because they needed it too. And I needed it at one point. That's why I'm even putting it out there. So we all have this similar understanding about maybe one issue or one thing that we went through or something that we need support with right now. I really want to create conversations on YourSkinsGym that facilitate healing and vulnerability and just being honest and open, because we all have a story to tell. We all go through stuff. We all have something that has made us who we are right now, who we are today. And we all have something that is why we are the way that we are. I think that that's so incredibly special. And I believe that we all have something to offer each other. And that's why this isn't my skin's gym. My story happened to my skin. My journey with the gym is my own individual experience. But I want this place, this podcast, and whatever else happens in the future to be your skin's gym too. To feel like a place you can come and know that you're safe here. And you can just relax about that. And I just really want this to be somewhere that you can leave feeling better in your own skin. I believe that through healing conversations, through a whole other list of holistic ways we can heal from the inside. But specific to this podcast, I believe that talking and communicating is one of the best ways to work out shit and to feel better in our skin. When we know we're not alone, when we know that other people are going through things, when we know that other people have a similar story. If anybody ever has any questions at all for me or specifically wants me to talk about an aspect of this that I maybe touched on more, dive into something more, please reach out to me. I love to hear from anybody who wants to share anything, talk about anything. If there's ever something that you want to be a voice for, come sit, come join me. I would love to talk to you. And I would love to give you a platform to do so. So thank you so much for listening along so far. Again, it truly, truly means so much to me. In honor of year 2 and in honor of a second season of Your Skin's Gym, we're going to have a new little segment at the end just where I share an inner workout that maybe I'm doing at the time or that I want to do. So right now, mine is breathing. And sounds silly. We breathe all the time. However, I feel like when I'm stressed and I'm just kind of rushing through life and not being very patient or slow and mindful, I honestly forget if I'm breathing or not. And sometimes I just need to take that minute and be like, oh, right, settle my nervous system, take a deep breath, just let some shit go and move on. So that's my inner workout right now. More intentional deep breaths throughout the day. And yeah, maybe you want to try it. I don't know. Maybe you're already good at it. And like, how amazing is this dog right here? If you're listening to this and not watching, my dog is on her back, sprawled out, and she's just the best. She's literally my buddy. She's my sidekick, and I love her so much. All right, homies. I think we got to close it here, though. I hope you enjoyed a bit of my story, learning a bit about Your Skin's Gym and me. And yeah, I'm just sending you so much love. Happy kickoff to summer. I hope that you have some fun plans coming up or something that you're looking forward to. And I can't wait to talk to you again so soon. Bye, homies.